Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Let me show you the best way to cut and remove the concrete, whether it be across a patio or a sidewalk, to install your drain pipe. This is something that is so easy, and the secret to this, to break out the concrete, is just plain simple. If you don't have a partner saw, you can easily go rent one from Home Depot or any good tool rental, and this will make life so much easier. These saws cut 4.5 inches deep, and that's one of the key notes here. The first secret is that you need to use the entire blade. Cut the full depth of that saw blade. If you cut like this, you can see there's a gap between the guard of the blade and the concrete. You will not be able to do the next secret step, and the next secret step is the most important one. So you'll notice that I'm able to pull that saw backwards. Sometimes you have to lift it up, but make sure that you cut the entire depth of the blade.
Okay, so we went ahead and cut the concrete. You can see our cuts across, and we also we're going to add a small catch basin right here. So we're going to take this section out, and this will all tie into the sump pit. This is actually the discharge. We just need to break this out, dig a trench just a little deep, maybe 6-7 inches, because this is the discharge under pressure that comes from the pump. So it's just 1.5 inch pipe. This is gravity that leads over to the pump. That's what's nice about a sump pit, because the pit can go down 2 feet. So even though this is lower here than the grade here, we can easily send our pipe down into the pit. Now what we're going to do is we're going to break this concrete out. And the secret to this was, remember when we were running the saw, if you cut clear through the concrete, you should be able to crack a piece off with just a pry bar. And the reason I use a pry bar is because it's so much easier than a sledgehammer. What you do is you just start hitting it on the same place over and over. See how quickly that cracked? Okay, now go ahead and pry that piece up and pull it out. You can see just it comes right out of there. And this is just one guy with a pry bar. The secret is to cut clear through it. He's already got the next crack. You can see it just lifts right out. We're going to haul that concrete away. We'll continue this process until we take it out. Then we'll trench across it. Okay, so the Zoller M98, it sets up the same way as the M53. And basically, I've already cut the pieces here. Let me just show you. We start with a male threaded 1.5 inch adapter. And that's one of the reasons I like to use the Zoller M98, is because it does have an 1.5 inch discharge. It makes life a lot easier and very compatible with your M53 if you decide to upgrade. Screw this piece in there as tight as you can get it, hand tight. Next, we cut a small riser, and this riser is just enough to get above this bar, which protects the float. Can you hear that? We'll turn it around. See the float? As water rises in the sump pit, it pulls up the float, kicks it on. As water goes down, turns it off. Okay, so we've got it all installed. You can see the sump pit. We've got the catch basins in place. And yeah, it's been raining, so it looks pretty wet, but it's working great. We've got the concrete down, discharge, and it runs all the way out and over to the creek. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day. And the secret to this was, remember when we were running the saw, if you cut clear through the concrete, you should be able to crack a piece off with just a pry bar. And the reason I use a pry bar is because it's so much easier than a sledgehammer. What you do is you just start hitting it on the same place over and over. See how quickly that cracked? Okay, now go ahead and pry that piece up and pull it out. You see, it comes right out of there. And this is just one guy with a pry bar. The secret is to cut clear through it.